Hey everyone, Mark Price here, devslopes.com. Continuing forward in our exciting JavaScript overview, we're going to talk about conditionals right now. I've gone ahead and opened the IDE brackets and created a file called conditionals.js. So go ahead and do the same thing, get your file ready wherever it is. And conditionals are very similar to in JavaScript as they are in Swift or any other programming language. So a lot of this is going to be real familiar to you. I'm just going to show you anyway though. So we can just console.log the result of Boolean expressions, of course, in addition to conditionals. So true equals false. What do you think that's going to print? Well, I think it's going to print false. Let's try it again. Console.log. Okay. True equals true. And that's true. Of course, that makes sense. So Boolean expressions, like so. In fact, also, you can store Booleans here. Var, am I cool equals true, of course, obviously. So, you can store Booleans as well, too, in variables. Conditionals, if am I cool. So you can do an if statement like so without having to specify, if it equals true. If you just put it in there, it's going to evaluate it as a Boolean expression as itself. So if I am cool, console.log, this had better print. Let's see if it prints. Oh no, I spelled it wrong. I was about to get worried. I was like, oh no, am I not cool? There we go. Of course, case sensitivity is important in JavaScript, as in other languages as well. And if we were in Xcode, of course, it would have caught that problem for us, wouldn't have let us make this mistake. But this is web development, of course. Although, if you do want a really good and powerful IDE for web development, it's really slow in my opinion, but it's very powerful. You can use the WebStorm. So makers of the PyCharm have a bunch of other IDEs as well too. So Boolean expressions, if true equals true, console.log, this is true. Else if, so you got else if statements as well. If true is not equal to true, console.log should not see this. And you can also do else statements as well. Else console.log, why would we ever get here? Okay, of course, let's see what happens. This is true, okay, because true equals true, so that makes sense. So yeah, if else statements, similar, actually pretty much the same as Swift, except you got to use the parentheses in this case here. One thing I did want to talk about though that's really important with JavaScript is equality checking versus strict equality, so double equal signs versus triple equal signs. Okay, and so for instance, if we say var val1 equals 6, that's a number, right? And then if we say var val2 equals 6, that's a string, or that's right. Now what's really interesting is if I say if val1 equals val2, console.log, say what? So can the number 6 equal a string? Can a number equal a string? Well, no. But if I run this, say what? It actually prints. Oh no. So JavaScript, some people call this a feature. I think it's a nightmare. But JavaScript allows you to do this type of equality checking. It'll check if it's equal to the same value and number. And by the way, this is sloppy programming, okay? If you see programmers in code that's doing stuff like this, people are being sloppy, and this is dangerous. This is really dangerous. So never, ever, 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 ever use the double equal signs. It's just bad coding practice. You can do it, but don't ever do it. Instead, do this. If val1 equals val2, use the triple equals, okay? Console.log, we should not see this, okay? Let's make some space here. Else console.log, always use strict equality, okay? Let's run it. Okay, very important. This is sloppy. So even up here, all these double equal signs, you should not be that. If you want to do not equals, it's like so, okay? But always use the triple equals in JavaScript, always, always, always. So just get in the habit of never using double equals. Yes, in Swift and everything else, that's fine. But JavaScript, no. In Swift, this means something completely different. In Swift, this triple equals is actually checking if the object that you have reference to is in the same exact memory spot as the other object you're checking against, meaning is this the exact same object in memory being stored somewhere. But here in JavaScript, we're checking for type and for value. Okay, triple equals means we're checking for type, number, and value. Okay, whereas the double equals, this one was just checking for value, not for type. Okay, so this is strict equality does the check on the type and the value. But anyway, conditionals, not that big a deal in JavaScript. So if you see triple equals all over the place in JavaScript, don't be alarmed. That's how you do proper checking and conditional checking. So that's it. Mark Price here at devslopes.com. Let's move forward. And remember, to get your free live help, go to devslopes.com and click on chat room. I'm there all the time, as well as a huge community of other students.